mixologist. Can you mix me up a Sparkfly Fen Blaster?
I'm a bartender. I serve liquor, not swamp water.
My order is indeed an alcoholic beverage. Shall I show you how to mix it?
Take one step behind my bar, and I'll give you a whole brick hammer.
Welcome back, guys. We're ready to go. It's actually, again, been a few days between me recordings, just because I've been juggling so many other things, taking advantage of the Super Adventure Festival while it was still in, being one of the big ones. But we're ready to continue on. Finally, we're going to finish this chapter of the game right here, right now. We're going south of Lion's Arch into vaguely dangerous territory, right? So we're only level 42, and it's our job to go meet Tybalt at Storm Bluff Isle. Where he has safely been escorted out of the city while we sneak Demi Beetlestone out under Cordicus's nose, who'd been trying to track her. So these drakes here, these are actually, if you could, you know, there's that funny stat about Super Mario, right, where that first Goomba at the start of the first Super Mario probably has got more kills scored than any other thing in video gaming history or whatever. And the idea is that, you know, it's because it's right at the start and people don't know it, the game yet at that point, so it scores lots of kills. I bet if you could do a similar thing for Guild Wars 2, these drakes would come out quite highly as well, because these are some of the most dangerous things in terms of the game pushes you near them at a point where they're higher level than you. So they're level 45. That happens so rarely for the actual core story, because most of the time in the core story, they force you to be level appropriate before you're even allowed to do it anymore. But yeah, so that's why those hyper-aggressive drakes were looking towards us, and we're going to have to be a bit careful. Luckily, we don't have to go very far. This is Storm Bluff Isle itself, just across this bridge over on this island, and it's not too far away from Lion's Arch. Now, the story step itself, if we look at the map here, right, yeah, the story step itself kind of wants us to go slightly over there, but I want to take you to the isle, the actual isle. Oh my god, did we just say something as we explored that area there? Or am I hearing things? I want to take you here because there's some fun things to hear about with regard to Lion's Arch. This place is actually referenced, I think not in one, but in 2 of the novels it's referenced. And it's not like there's anything too important that happens here in the game, but I do like some of the dialogue. So, it's always raining here. It's always stormy. You can see the lightning in the sky. You can see how moody and ambient it is. And these guys from the Lion Guard, at the end of the day, they're still defending the city to the north, kind of have to deal with that. Wow, we got a level just from walking around. That's cool. What do we get for that level? Oh, we get more gathering stuff. So as we start to climb higher, you get new gathering tools that get you better stuff. So now we can pick one dark steel tool to avoid having to buy that from the merchants or whatever. I guess I'll go with the dark steel logging axe here, which we can get banyan saplings, pine saplings, inglewood, and other lesser ones. So this will get basically just another tier up. You'll notice as well, by the way, when I get this, it has an upgrade slot on it called a Glyph Slot. So this is actually a very new update that just came into the game while I've been doing this series. So when I first showed you these way back in what, like episode 2 or 3, we never had this called preview, but you now get a preview showing the various skins and things you can get on these tools. These are still very basic as we level up, so we don't have to worry too much. But there's upgrades you can slot into them now. If you guys didn't know that is a little bit of news. Something came out that basically lets you chop down things faster or get extra materials and so on. The Glyph update was very recent. But yeah, so there you go. You get that. Anyway, so this is Storm Bluff Isle. Like I say, it's always raining here. It's always miserable. There's a few dynamic events where Inquest nearby attack the place. And I believe we can talk to some of these guys about it. So, who are you? There's a woman here. Sheriff. Oh my god, she's got a scary mask. Sheriff Aliona. Alright, so she says, welcome to Storm Bluff Beacon. Ugliest rock on this side of Lion's Gate. Oh, guys, Lion's Gate. Now, listen, I don't know how many of you listening to me right now watched the original series, but Lion's Gate was like a cool little weird area as a part of Lion's Arch 250 years ago. It's actually specifically this little section here, I think. In Guild Wars 2, when the game originally came out, there was, like, the Lighthouse that had been there in the original game was still there, and then the Lighthouse got attacked in Guild Wars 2, then they were trying to rebuild it, then it got blown up again, and now there's a totally new, different Lighthouse there, and most references to Lion's Gate have been removed, where we are on the timeline. But at least this woman still talks about Lion's Gate! So we can say, I was hoping you could answer a few questions for me. And she says, well, better make it quick. I've got things to do. We can say, what is this place? And she says, it's the southernmost reach of Lion's Arch. We are both a guide and a haven for travelers headed there. So I love this line. The game kind of conditions you to stop thinking about space in terms of lore and just think about areas in terms of game mechanics. So what do I mean by that? Well, technically, when we came through this portal at the end of last episode, we left Lion's Arch, right? This is Lion's Arch, the city, this big rectangle here. And now we're in a different place. We're at Blood Tide Coast. So you start thinking in terms of game mechanics, but I like lines like this because it reminds you, it forces you to remember that what we're actually doing here is traversing a representation of a fictional world that doesn't necessarily... The border to Lion's Arch doesn't necessarily have to line up with this rectangle, and indeed in lore, we can kind of consider Lion's Arch down here. She says that we're still in Lion's Arch. This is the southernmost reach of it. I kind of like that. Anyway, so we can compliment her and say, you're doing a fine job. I don't know how you cope with this endless rain. And she's, I've often wondered that myself. But sadly, we have to keep the lighthouse safe and the pirates at bay. Indeed, may you hold it. So actually, we could say, is there no other reason for this fort? Oh, she just repeats that. You must have a lot of trouble with pirates, we say. And she says, Covington's crew, mostly. They would love to pry us from this hole. So, Covington. I think this is the first reference to Covington we've seen in the series. Basically, there's lots of different pirate factions. The biggest and baddest, the meanest, the most numerous are Covington's crew. And their leader, Hydra Covington, she's got a nickname of the Hydra Queen, actually. She is based out of the Sea of Sorrows here. Where this map we can sort of loosely say. You can basically call this giant bay the Sea of Sorrows, as you see here, right? And we can actually find Tyda in a meta event here in the Blood Tide Coast, so that's kind of cool. Do you need any help? She says, the Lion Guard doesn't need anything from you, but we won't complain if you want to kill a pirate or two. Alright, you can even ask her about the Inquest, which have a base, by the way, underwater. The reason it's always raining here, I think, is because the Inquest down in the water are manipulating the environment, the weather, and so on. In fact, you can see a smaller Surin base down there. With a member of the Order of Whispers, actually. But shh, we're not supposed to know that just yet. So yeah, there's a few other cool things. The lighthouse here. Where is it? That lighthouse. There's a secret jumping puzzle place where integrated with maths. If you check the rest of my channel, you can find a video on it. If you enter the wrong code there, or the right, I guess if you wish, it can actually teleport you on top of that lighthouse, which is kind of badass. So yeah, there's that. What else have we got? There should be a male Norn we can speak to. Yeah, you. Hello. So Deputy Strofnir, he says, if you're here to ask for handouts, I don't have any. Is he a Norn or a human? I guess he's Norn, right? He's pretty huge. We say, why not? The refugee camp has taken up all of our excess supplies. We're stretched thin. Fine. So there he's referring to a refugee camp. You might think, but very savvy members of the community will remember that at one point, one of the early updates of the game, there was a mini refugee camp added here for a little while and then removed. And you might think that that dialogue still refers to it. No. There's a different refugee camp we'll have a look at in a second. But first, look, hero challenge. I love this hero challenge. It's one of the more different ones in the game. And so look, we got the friggin' Lion's Guards. Char. It looks so cool with the helmet there. Or hat, I should actually say. Firing cannons is all about precision, timing, and patience. Think you've got what it takes? And we say, what do I have to do? Well, they say, use any of my cannons over there to hit the targets on the cliffside. Hit all three and I'll be satisfied. So you get these cannons. You can press F on them. And it changes your skills to turn the cannon left. And if you actually look here, the cannon's moving. We can turn the cannon right. And we can fire it. And when we fire it, we can choose to just tap it for a low shot. Or we can hold it down to get a much... Here you go. That event I was talking about with the Inquest is going now. Or we can hold it down to actually launch it higher up. And the objective here is to... You see those barrels all the way out on that cliff? We need to hit... Oh, we missed him there by accidentally shot between the two. We need to hit the barrels just perfectly and cause them to explode. So, did we get it? There you go. We got that one. And now you'll see that his arms are raised. Oh, actually, their arms were always raised up. I guess it's just now that he's naked. So, yeah, it's a cool little thing. I always thought that Guild War... This game gets very nautical, right? There's a lot about ships and boats and navies and pirates and things. They all become really, really quite big themes, actually. And I always thought that at some point we'd have some kind of massive ship combat moment where these cannons that you learn about throughout the course of the game you might actually use to fire on a nearby ship. But this specific control of cannon and style of cannon you never really use. Cannons do become a big part right at the end of the game. Some of you will know what I'm talking about there, and all will be revealed in time. But not this style. And I wonder if it's because the devs reasoned it was just too frustrating to deal with. Because even I, the amazing WP, experienced as I am with it, I'm obviously joking here. But even, you know, Even I struggle with this, and I've done this several times before. But each time you hit a barrel, by the way, you may not notice this detail. These little thumbs actually do flick up. I didn't notice this until very recently. But yeah, that last thumb's down. That's because we need to hit one more target. Let's get this nice low one here. So that's going to be a really low shot. Probably about there. Oh, no, that's so low we're hitting the wall right next to us. Oh, it even looks like we're being attacked now. Oh, yeah, look, we got it. Totally blind, guys. Boom. And we get that done. So here, check it out. Dynamic event has triggered. We need to defend the Stormbluff beacon from the Inquest, who are actually teleporting in. They're firing themselves in from cannons to try and take these supplies. There's not many left. Looks like other players have just arrived in the from the vicinity, like this person over here. And they've just sort of cleared it up, so I think they'll be fine. We've actually, because we helped kill this one Inquest, we'll probably get credit for having helped to defend. That they even sent him golems in now. There we go. All right. So, let's go to the refugee camp, and then we'll get on with the story as well. Just one last little thing I want to show you. It's really weird being back on this engineer here, so minor spoilers for very soon that will become apparent by the end of this video. We do have another dungeon coming up, and I have spent a long time between videos preparing myself for how to beat it, because the solo challenge will continue, guys, and it's been really hard. So, I've got a lot to teach you about engineer. Because what we're going to be doing very soon in the series is so unintended by the devs, it's insane. Like, there's a real challenge coming up. Much, much, much harder than the original dungeon. But yeah, so here's the refugee camp, and you can speak to a few different guys. I find this merchant in particular super interesting. So number one, he's a merchant. So most merchants in this game, if I press F to talk, it just throws a window up. And the game conditions its players to understand that, and so you mostly skip merchants. But very rarely a merchant also has dialogue too, and this guy does. So he says, "Oi, will you please just bar something? I need enough money to get bar passage home." Okay, so passage home? "Oh, I'm just a simple merchant from Garanoff. I was heading back when pirates attacked us at sea. Now I'm stuck here like everyone else." Garanoff? What were you doing all the way out there, we ask? "I was planning to make it big in Lion's Arch. But Lion's Arch is too big for me. I just want to go home now. Bar something." So there you go. He's from Garanoff. And I just like that. I like a reference to Garanoff. And it works, right? I love the thought of whatever dev wrote this because, you know, it kind of makes sense. He would have sailed up past Claw Island or whatever, come into Lion's Arch, and now he's trying to leave again. And again, it's another thing, like, it's kind of still Lion's Arch in a weird way. Because they sort of consider him to be a citizen, if you will. But yeah, there's a guy patrolling. We spent too long. I was expecting this to just be a couple of minutes at the start of the video, but as always, it's ended up taking ages. There's another guy down there who basically explains that all of these pirates, all these refugees are fleeing from pirate attacks. That pirates, these are particularly troubled waters. And, you know, even though, again, like I say, even though the in-game representation of Tyria is, as we see it right now, that this is just a small spit of water, in the lore, you might actually imagine that Stormbluff Isle is separated by significant stretches of water, right? That happens in so many different RPGs I play where I always like to suspend my disbelief and just imagine that. And yeah, you can imagine that, you know, this is a dangerous place where pirates might even attack you as you try to go from the island back to the mainland up there or whatnot, you know? Anyway, so, yes, we are now moving over. It's kind of interesting that the quest text suggests that we're going to Stormbluff Isle, when really, I mean, yeah, we are at Stormbluff Isle, I guess. It's this island here. Also, a name of one of the servers for the game was Stormbluff Isle. I don't know how much longer servers will exist as a concept for Guild Wars 2, so I don't know how much we need to talk about that. The devs released a post where they were talking about big updates to one of the other areas of the game that might just make it all redundant. So I don't know, but anyway, here we go. The story. Let's continue with an apple a day. And remember what I said, we are actually on course to finding where the Order of Whispers are based from. Alright, so we got the sneaky music, so we want to be cautious about this. Let's move on up. So far looks pretty good. Nice, sunny, good blood-tide coast, exactly how we like it.
Landon's still following us. Are you sure you want to do this to me?
Absolutely. Never been more sure of anything in my life.
Okay to me. Hopefully she's not running us into any trouble.
Commander Landon won't give up, will he? He'll keep searching for me until I'm dead. The Order of Whispers can protect me, but only if they lock me up like a prisoner. I'm tired of being someone else's pawn. I can't live like that. It's time to stop running.
The Order is willing to relocate you to me. We can give you a new life.
Do you really think there's anywhere in Tyria that my father can't reach? He even has spies in the Black Citadel. Anyway, what good would a new life be while the dragons destroy Tyria? I can't just sit idle while the world burns.
So what are you going to do, Demi?
I know I could go into the Chantry and vanish anyway. Or the Order could bring 100 agents out here to kill Landon and his men. Neither of those things will set me free. I have to stand up to Landon myself. I have to show my father that he can't manipulate me.
I think you're right, Demi. It's time for you to make a stand. Tybalt and I will help you.
I really want to know what the female Asura does with her pronunciation of her name. It's kind of ridiculous. I love the thought that she's just super polite. Can you imagine someone just time and time and time again says your name wrong and you just totally chill and leave it there? It's amazing. This seems like a terrible plan, by the way, and very much against what the Order of Whispers were trying to set up, but whatever. Okay, so Tybalt, what's going on? You got these barrels, and you seem to be filling them with apples. Well, that's very fitting for you, right? This did all start with you trying to sell us apples at an apple stand. So you got one here. What do you have to say? Oh, wait. Who? So we need to speak with both of them, I guess, so we don't have to be scared that we're accidentally going to skip something. So, Tybalt, what you got for us, dude? He says, thanks for being so understanding. I know our partnership is new, but this has really been great. I think it has been great, dudes. I think it has been great. We work well together, Tybalt. I hope. I mean, if you wanted to. Oh, never mind. To work with you again? Yeah, I'd love to. Oh, yeah? Really? That's great. Hey, wow. That's great of you. So, was there anything you needed to know? Oh, he's so cute. He's like more of a novice and a noob than Bract is. This is insane. Yeah, what was our plan again? An ambush that Landon and his crew won't forget. You'll see. Okay. Why all the apple barrels? Are they a part of this plan? They look real, right? Totally scrumptious? Good. Good. Okay, he goes a little bit evil there. Maybe there was no evil laugh. Maybe I'm embellishing a bit on that one, guys. So, hey, Demi. I guess if I'm role-playing as Bract, guys, I have to say Demi. She says, I've made my choice. I'm going to join the Order of Whispers. I can't sit idly by anymore. You've seen a lot of bad things, Demi. I'm glad you're taking a stand. My father taught me more than he knew, and I'm going to turn all those lessons to benefit the Order. Yeah, it's kind of cool that she'd like be a protege, right? Like she'd rise up to surpass her father. I love that she's motivated to face the Elder Dragons when really our experience of humanity so far is most of them don't care much about the Elder Dragons. Most of them aren't thinking of that. They're thinking about the centaurs. They're thinking about the bandits, and they care more about strife within the throne and the crown, right? But she's got these bigger ambitions. The game doesn't really show us where they come from very well, I don't think, and that's a little bit of a shame. But hey, there you go. So, do you think we can defeat him? Save Queen Jenna and Kryta, we say? So, talking about Cordicus here, obviously not Landon. I hope so, she says. The Queen is a good woman, and we humans are a strong folk. We just have to take it one challenge at a time. Speaking of challenges, are you ready to confront Landon? I am. I'll start with him, and when I'm done, Kryta will be free of my father's influence, you'll see. Very noble. The idea she wants to fight the Elder Dragon, she wants to join the Order of Whispers, she wants to unseat her father. The Order will stand beside you. I guess that's perfectly in line. So we're going to ambush the Ministry Guard.
To me. Got a moment? If you're fighting, you'll need a weapon. Take my rifle. Ever fire one?
Ben tried to show me once, and I nearly shot his ear off.
You're gonna be just fine, kiddo.
God. Ben 10 strikes, of course, that we haven't seen much of.
Here they come. Commander Landon and his bully boys.
I'm ready.
Don't be violent. When you stand with the Order of Whispers,
There's nowhere left
never
to
stand
run, Lady
alone.
Beetlestone. Surrender or die.
Oh my god, look, they're all arrived!
Did you think you could hide from me on some remote island? You're under arrest, Lady Beetlestone.
Tell my father I'm not his little girl anymore. I'm free, Landon. Free of him, and free of you.
Lady Beetlestone, if you think a few apple barrels will stop me, you're going to be disappointed.
Landon, you've got two disappointments coming. First, Demi's not going back with you. Second, these aren't apple barrels.
Oh, that's amazing! It breaks his brake bar and everything. Sorry, can we just pause here for a second? Landon just said, if you think a few apple barrels are going to stop me, think again. And then Tybalt said, These aren't apple barrels. What did Landon think they were? If he thought they were apple barrels, did he really think we'd employed just inert barrels of apples as a defense? What? Hello?
6 feet tall. These spies have had a terrible influence on you. Especially ones like this filthy, crippled char and this flunky.
My name is Tybalt Leftpaw, Lightbringer of the Order of Whispers. And that's agent to you.
Oh, I love the fire and chaos. Suck it, Landon.
Landon, you dog. Tell my father that you failed. I'll never let you capture me alive.
Dude.
I die for Kryta.
We just blew him up. Like, there's so much to say there. That's insane. We do so much damage. We just kill him.
I can't thank you two enough. You saved my life, and you've given me purpose. I'll never be a pawn again. I'm going to join the Order of Whispers and become a real operative. In time, I'll do what you do. Help to save the world.
You'll be a great agent someday to me. For now, the information you can give the Order will save a lot of lives. Head into the cave. There's a Lightbringer inside waiting for you. Maybe we'll meet again someday.
Tybalt, I think I still owe you an apple cider.
That you do, buddy. But we've got one last thing on our agenda. The Preceptors have asked to see you.
Ooh.
The Preceptors? Who are they?
The 3 Preceptors lead the Order. They work for the Master of Whispers. His identity is kept secret to protect us all. If they want to see you, it must be big. But don't worry. I'll be by your side.
Well, damn. Oh my god, guys, I got so much to say. Is he just charging off immediately? Let's quickly grab his dialogue before he walks out of the boundary. Does he have any? I guess not. So first of all, everybody just comes in. This is so cool. These agents out of nowhere. They all go off into the mysterious cave and we'll be following inside. Yeah, we have the story of the Preceptors. But let's just talk for a second. Number one, we didn't do anything there. I genuinely think this is the easiest instance of the personal story in all of Guild Wars 2. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but we actually can just stand there and they will kill the boss for us. If you actually attack, it's so easy to beat Landon here. If you attack even just a little bit, his health chunks so fast you don't get to hear the audio of the game. Look at him putting out the fires. This is awesome. He actually puts them out as well. So it's if you want the full story experience, you actually can't really contribute, which is like so crazy. But I kind of like the idea, actually, that we see the strength of the Order. It's supposed to be a big ambush like that, right? And it's not all about us here. It's about Demi Beetlestone, and it's about our, I guess to an extent, our initiation, but her freedom. And then finally, the actual circumstance that she's put herself in there. I thought the point was she would face up to Landon to, like, send a message back. But no. She just wants to kill Landon. She's like a murderer, really. And we contributed to that. Just to basically say to her father, yeah, don't send people after me or I will kill them. Somehow I don't think Cordicus would care too much that some lackey. But, I mean, he said he dies for Kryta as well. We didn't get enough time to know Landon, I don't think. But yeah, man, what a crazy, crazy mini little instance there. And now we have one more job, and that is to enter the Chantry of Secrets. So it is in this cave. Now, listen. The Order of Whispers are of the 3 orders, I think I've said this already, the Order of Whispers are the oldest. They are the first. They are very, very, very old. They don't even originate from this area of the world. They come from far south, from this region of the world, Ilona, which is territory that the most recent expansion covers and is a long way away, okay? But they're originally from down here. In the original game 250 years ago, you could play in this area of the world. And when you met the Order of Whispers there, you found out that they did again have a headquarters called the Chantry of Secrets. Now, 250 years later, and in a totally different area of the world, we once again find there's a Chantry of Secrets. So this is like the new one for the Order of Whispers that are up here in Tyria. They're being led by this mysterious character.
Adventurer, come here. Tell me what you've seen and show me who you are.
Oh, and look, we're not the only Asura here, guys. We're not the only Asura. Agent Zin.
Fight what cannot be fought.
She says, I'm a dynamistician. I see the currents within you, and you're not a messenger. Fight me. I wish to experience the ebb and flow of your energies, both the dark and the light. So she's actually a real challenge and quite tanky. So how about we continue with our kits, right? And we keep getting some new stuff. So Oh, there's a lot to show. I guess we'll have to look at the toolkit much later. I actually want to go all the way up to the elite kit now. We're going to buy the Mortar Kit. So, this is our first our first elite ability, I think, in the series. Did Tyrix already use? I mean, Tyrix is so powerful already. We were doing like 10k 100 blades during Ascalon Catacombs. Kind of insane. But yeah, so we're going to go all the way up to a kit. We skipped the bomb kit and the tool kit. We will look at those eventually, guys, so don't worry if you're excited about them. But we're going to get the elite. Okay, this one's huge. It's the Mortar. Back when the game originally came out, this skill was completely different. It actually placed like a mortar down that you would control a little bit like the cannons we were playing with over here, actually, funny enough. Now it's a kit. You carry it around. It's a huge freaking gun. And what's really profound and interesting about this is its 1500 range. So there are various like range thresholds in this game. Some things are like 900, which would be like about this range. Most things are 1200, which is rifle range. So mostly this is about as far as you can shoot in the game, right? If you've got a bow, for most ranged weapons, they're 1200. The mortar, though, is one of very few special things that goes all the way up to 1500. So look at this. We can actually attack the agent from all the way back here. It's a bit like grenades as well, in that it's got different fields and effects. So let's start the fight. We have a poison one.
Not all light shines outward. Darkness is not necessarily the absence of light.
Oh, she actually kind of hurt there. So, and said her weird stuff there. So yeah, you got the poison gas shell, which puts poison in the area. You've got the endothermic shell, which freezes and keeps things very cold. You've got the flash shell, which lights an area up really bright and continuously pulses blind on people who stand where it was. And then finally, you actually have a really nice one, the Elixir Shell, which is a bit like the Elixir Gun 5 as well. It heals you, cleanses conditions, and so there's lots of fields as well, right? So this one's a poison field. So if we leap in the poison field, we do an effect where we put weakness out. This one is a chill field, so if we leap in that, we do another effect. This one here is a light field. So if we blast in this, we cleanse conditions. And finally, the 5, the Elixir Shell is actually a water field, which is one of the most strong fields in the game. And oh my god, this guy just died instantly. Our friend here. What? How did you die? Oh, he's only level 22. She, I should say. Jesus. She's immediately bailing. All right, I think she actually... We need to discuss Lester and actually help kill... Oh, why would you pull over? Oh, no. Okay, look, our job is to keep this person alive, who is completely underleveled. They must have just started playing the game. We'll save you. It's okay. In fact, even I'm hurting a little bit here. Bract is not doing very well right now, guys. Bract is going to really have to do a big training montage to get to the next dungeon. But okay, so yeah, there you go. And then finally, we have the tool belt ability, which is my favorite part of the Mortar Kit, okay? It used to be that none of the elite skills for engineer had tool belt stuff, but they do now. So this is Orbital Strike. Cool down energy from the sky to blast an area. So here, we'll drop our water field and leap out, which will heal us, okay? So the jump shot is a leap. In the water field means that when we... Oh, this guy's coming in and kill. So here you go. Here's the Orbital Strike.
Now that darkness has touched you, you're better prepared to deal with it. Go in peace.
Okay, she's very edgelordy. Yeah, so we hardly got to see that, but there you go. That's the Orbital Strike. It's a blast, right? So basically the point I'm trying to explain is you can drop a field like this, and then you can use the Orbital Strike to blast in it. So if you do it in the water field, you get these orbital laser strikes that start healing you and splashing heals on allies. It's so fun, the different ways you can mix and match and play around with the Mortar Kit and how exactly you use it. There's also traits and things that like let you double blast or trigger blasts at certain health thresholds and stuff. It's brilliant. Really, really fun skill. And I think we might actually be using that coming up. So, yeah. All right, moving on. An apple a day. Let's go deep into this cave. We presumably swim through some pool or something there. And here, you'll see that's the rest of the cave. And now we're in a very mysterious place indeed. If I press M to look at the map, you'll see that we're in a place called the Chantry of Secrets. So this is where the Order of Whispers is based from. It's very creepy. Oh, we just got a mail. Oh, it was from Zodja as well. She says, Savant, it's become very obvious to me that you're rapidly advancing in your chosen order, as it should be. You were always the brightest student in your college. You'll do no less well there. I've heard of most interesting rumour that some of Snaf's technology has been sold in Kryta to a ridiculous human named Uzalan. He's going to unveil it as his own at some sort of party at the Legate Minister's estate in Beetleton, and I plan to stop him. Of course, this means I'll likely run afoul of that fool Logan, who has gone back to his queen. But who cares? At least Ritlock and Air are off in Ascalon, searching for the ghost of some dead king's sword. More power to them on their waste of time. In any case, I'll see what I find in Kryta and get back to you. Feel free to meet me there if you find yourself hoping for a little change of pace. So, Zodget, now, this character, Uzalan, I had a very difficult decision to make in this series, because if I had, when we were playing as Casey, chosen to have been a member of the circus, we could have already seen Uzalan, and you guys would know a little bit more about that. But yeah, somebody's stealing Snaf's stuff? So that's interesting. We'll have to leave that for a second, though. Hold on.
Greetings, Initiate. The Preceptors are expecting you.
You're free to enter the antechamber. Your friend Tybalt is waiting for you there.
We got something perhaps even more interesting going on here. A secret society. Look at, I love how creepy and ominous. Just listen to this cave, guys, as we walk up. This is honestly one of the most profound, exciting, interesting, mysterious moments I ever had when I first played Guild Wars 2. Look how beautiful this room is, man. Look at that. This is the Chantry, guys. Look at this giant globe here in this creepy-ass cave. So, there's a lot to talk about. First of all, here you'll see this icon represents the Order of Whispers. I believe that's like their symbol. Not quite sure what these are, locking mechanisms and things. Over here in this corner, you will see that there's an Asura gate. And, ooh, doesn't that look very strange and mysterious? I wonder where that goes, guys. We cannot currently get through the gate. One day we will be able to get through this gate and we'll be able to go into that. But we are not far enough in the story. But remember that. There is an Asura gate. And indeed, all three of the orders have a gate like that. An Asura gate behind a regular metal gate. But we can't get through just yet. So you got that. And now, also there's this room over here. Now, even though we're sort of joining the Order of Whispers here, they're not going to like us messing around with this at all. And so that's kind of a deeper area that we are. We are not allowed to enter just yet. And then finally, we have the big old globe. We got these interesting creepy machines. We've got scrolls. And I think there might even be a printing press somewhere around here as well. What's going on, guys?
Welcome to the Chantry of Secrets, Initiate. My name is Halvora. Dorn, Valenz, and I are the Preceptors. We guide the Order of Whispers. Riel is our attaché, and of course you know Lightbringer Tybalt. He speaks very highly of you.
Our operation succeeded, Preceptor. Demi is safe, and soon we'll have enough information on Caudicus to keep him under wraps for good.
You've both done exceptionally well. Tybalt, we've decided to keep you on field duty.
Really? You mean it? I'm gonna keep working in the field? I'm gonna keep working in the field, yeah!
As for you, Initiate, we're promoting you to full agent and permanently assigning you and Tybalt as partners. Congratulations. And with that in mind, it's time for your next assignment. Riel, give the agent a quick briefing.
Some of the lesser races have asked for assistance. I'll show you the dossiers, and you can choose where you'd like to investigate.
Alright, okay, so we get a big choice here, guys. Another big choice. That reminds me as well, by the way. We heard them reference it before. I should have talked about this. But Tybalt, I guess it had gone unspoken between Bract and Tybalt. But it would be plainly obvious for us to look at him. He's called Tybalt Left Paw. You might have wondered why he's called Tybalt Left Paw. But look, he's got one fine hand. And the other hand, this is actually like a machined arm here. He was called a cripple before. It's basically he's lost one of his hands, guys. There's lots of different people we can speak to. First, there's, hey, Demi, she's over here. All kinds of new stuff going on with the Order of Whispers right now. She says, hello, Bract. Look, we're finally here, finally safe, and all because of you in this crazy, I mean, it's creepy here, but I don't doubt that it's safe. And it's a great position as well. All the orders really are in a great position because they're all like, essentially central to Tyria and where all the really hot happening stuff is. I think that's really important. So this is the heart of the Order of Whispers. Amazing, we say. She says it's a little overwhelming, but between telling them about my father's plans and my own training, I feel like I'm part of a team. What are your plans, we say? What do you want to focus on in the Order of Whispers? She says, right now I'm sharing my knowledge of Crichton politics. I love political intrigue. I think I'd make a good analyst. That sounds like a great plan. Good luck, Demi. And we can also ask her, now that Commander Landon's dead, what will your father do? And she says, what can he do? Not much. The Chantry's location is a well-guarded secret, and Landon only found us because he followed us the whole way. This is an interesting line of dialogue. It's almost like the devs had an early storyboard version of this, where Landon was hunting us all the way here, and we, like, almost led him to reveal the place. And then they went back on it later and decided to have it be Demi confronts him head on, and it just so happens to be out the front of the cave. There's lots of strange stuff like that I'm constantly throughout this series desperate to like flag up and talk to you guys about, but we'd be here all day. I find that one very interesting though. Anyway, so we say, so if you stay here, Minister Cordicus can't find you? Exactly, she says. I'm perfectly safe, and I think sending Landon's body back to Divinity's Reach is exactly the kind of message my father needs. Oh, so I guess she is sending a message. It's just the message of a corpse. You are your father's daughter to me. Yeah, maybe she's going to become a villain eventually. Valens. Hello. Jesus Silvari. We still haven't interacted much with the Silvari. If you guys are wondering, if you're thinking, who the hell are these guys? If they're getting kind of interesting to you, don't you worry. It all will be revealed in time. Greetings, Bract. I'm the Order's primary research analyst. Is there anything you need to know? Oh, I guess that's why they're talking, because they're analysts, right? What can you tell me about the other members of the Order? Well, that depends. Some information is classified. Whom do you wish to know about? Okay, well, tell me about yourself first. I'm a preceptor, focusing on research and information. I also study illusions and other mesmer magic. Very interesting. Okay, tell me about someone else. Who is Real? What does she do here? So Real was the first preceptor for us to meet. She just came to us in Lion's Arch. Super sneaky. I actually love what she does there. Because it's just so bizarre, and it like demonstrates she's got such like intelligence of what's going on. It really makes the Order of Whispers feel intimidating, right? Who is she? So, Real Darkwater is a Lightbringer, and our primary agent in Lion's Arch. She's also the Order's most accomplished sniper. Ah, yeah, because she's got that cool rifle we saw in the opening cutscene too. So she's got a Lightbringer. Lightbringer is totally a rank in the Order of Whispers. We should hope to attain one day. Players of the original game could become Lightbringers too, and then they'd advance their way up via the title system back then. Can you tell me about Dern, Halvora? Dern is our infiltration and assassination specialist. Halvora is our combat tactician. Both are excellent at their jobs. Okay, what is this about people need our assistance? Tribes need our assistance? She says, which race do you want to know more about, Agent? Okay, so we can basically there's lots of lesser races around. There's the Grawl, we've seen a little of those, mostly associated with Ascalon, of course, but we see them in other areas. There are the Quaggan. Have we seen any Quaggan yet? I don't think so. And then there's Hylek. Of course, Bract is very familiar with the Hylek. And so we can say, I'd like to hear more about the Hylek. The Hylek are a race of frog-like creatures. They revere the sun as a god. They also create alchemical potions and poisons. Oh, I know a little something about alchemical potions and poisons. And we definitely met a few of those early on. Okay, so that's her.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too, Tybalt. You're cool, man. Do you have more dialogue?
Talk to me.
Yeah, he does. So that was great, he says. Our first mission completed successfully. Wahoo! Something to be proud of, Tybalt. Okay, very cool. Who else? So here's Halvora. Best of luck in your endeavors, young Bract. Our Order will be watching you closely. I love the idea of a char in the Order of Whispers. Look, she's got a... Oh, what's that called? Oh, man, I forgot it. What's the name? Tell me in the comments, guys. What's the name of where you've got two different colored eyes? Anyway, she's cool. I look forward to proving it myself, we say. She's actually kind of scary as well. If there's any truly intimidating member of the Order of Whispers, I think it's her right now. And here's Dern. What can I do for our newest agent? So, excuse me, who are you? My name is Dern Velasquez. I'm one of the preceptors for the Order of Whispers. Are you from Kryta, we ask? And this is one of the most interesting lines in the game, guys. He says, Kryta? No. I mean, yes, of course. The human nation, right? Kryta. Yes. That sounds mighty suspicious. Cantha? You don't look Alolan. So people from Cantha kind of look, you know, real world, what's the word? parallels to, like, Asian territories, I guess, right? Elonans would be parallel to North Africa specifically. And, yeah, he doesn't really match any of that. But he also says he's not from Kryta. He's probably not from Ebonhawk and Ascalon. So where's he from, guys? You don't look Elonan, we say. He says that information's classified. Maybe we'll talk more about it one day. Fine, I suppose. Can I ask something else? So, this is a pretty exciting mystery. I would love, if you guys are going to drop a comment today, please talk about this. I really want to hear what you all think on this one. Alright, what's a Preceptor? Can you remind me? He says we three lead by passing the Master of Whispers orders onto agents who take those tasks then into the field. Okay, so who's this Master of Whispers? The Master of Whispers is the shadowy individual who leads our order. You're not cleared to know more. Understood. I guess only those three then. So what? It's Dern, it's the Char, it's Real, and it's Dern here. They're the only ones that know the identity of this character, so it would seem. And we're not cleared to know. Isn't that kind of creepy, guys? And then finally, we can ask, were you ever a field agent? He says, yes, I was. Until my partner was killed in the line of duty. I've worked here at the Chantry since then, training others. Were you just about to say wife? That's none of your business, agent. I'd drop this line of questions if I were you. What a crazy character, right? Like, who's this? What? Oh, my God. What a cool character. Yes, sir, Preceptor. I'm sorry. And I guess answers will come in due time, right, guys? Okay, so here's Real. Finally, what's the task at hand? Which of the tribal cultures of Tyria would you like to investigate? So, there's quite a lot going on here, guys. Basically, at this juncture in the story, we can choose one of the lesser races to either help out or deal with a specific problem. As a member of the Order of Whispers, we're basically just trying to go and manipulate them to have them help us against the Elder Dragons and sort of generally, you know, work that angle. And so you see we get three choices. We've got Quaggan, we've got Hylek, and we've got Grawl. Now, here's the funny thing. Those aren't the only three ones available. There's actually 5 potential ones you can pick. But the reason I only see 3 is because I'm playing as Bract. And as an Asura, I have, like, an affiliation, a comfort level, if you will, with only certain races. So some of them are locked off to me. One of the potential ones you could go and interact with is actually Skrit, which is kind of amazing because the Asura have tons of history with Skrit. But I guess the idea is, as an Asura, I actually loathe Skrit, so I would never want to go anywhere near Skrit, so I don't get that as an option, okay? So that's the way it works. We're going to pick someone else. Obviously, I'm going to pick Hylek here. The Hylek are an enigma, we say. Do we know much about them? And she says they worship the sun, they make potions, and that's about it. We could definitely benefit from knowing more. The pursuit of intelligence, exactly what Asura like to do. I choose to investigate the Hylek. And so, yeah, we get that. Excellent stuff. Just as a sneaky little bit of trivia and a side note as well for you guys. If you did want to be an Asura that did the Skrit, there is a way to trick the game and have it happen. And what you do is you play with a friend in your party, and you have them be the instance owner, and you both have to be right here at this point with the story on an apple a day. But your friend is not Asura. Your friend is one of the Skrit-affiliated races, and your friend picks Skrit, and you'll get a prompt on your screen. Bract would have got a prompt saying, your friend has chosen this story step. Would you like to continue? And then you click yes. And by doing that, you can kind of break the game, and you can put your Asura onto the Skrit storyline, or whatever combination you want to do that you shouldn't necessarily be allowed. So, pretty sneaky, but it is totally possible. Now, what's really amazing about this is, in theory, the reason the devs actually stopped all 5 races having all 5 options is because it could have saved a bit of time on voice acting. But I suppose if you break it, you will hear Bract talking about Skrit-related things, meaning they got the male Asura voice actor to do it anyway. So you kind of hear really rare VA that most people don't even know about. I haven't actually done that trick to verify it, but that's fascinating to me that it could be a side of the game. Real says, best of luck in your endeavors, young Bract. Our order will be watching you closely. Oh, that's kind of creepy, actually. I look forward to proving myself, we say. Okay, so that's cool. The globe up here, by the way, as well. This is not the last we've seen of it, so hell, we'll speculate about that in the future, I guess. Let's nip back on out into the Blood-Tide Coast and make our way out of the cave here. And, yeah, we're going to have to hit another 10 levels to continue the story, which I intend to actually very rapidly do here. But also, hold the phone. Zodja just messaged us, right? So what did she say? She said that someone has been taking Snaf's technology. It's been sold in Kryta to a ridiculous human named Uzalin. Well, that's not all. If you guys remember when Tyrix reached Lion's Arch, he got a mail from a mysterious character who said they'd been watching his progress and advised him to go to the Ascalon catacombs. Well, Bract had a similar mail. Check it out, your herald. An invitation to Cordicus's manor. So it turns out we have an invitation to this party. Hail, mighty hero. I hope that you're well. The neighborhood is buzzing with excitement about you, and I've had word that there'll be a party celebrating the Char-Human peace negotiations in Queensdale. So yeah, we just got Demi to safety. We've protected that side of things, and they're actually having a party about these negotiations here. The reception will be at the manor of Lord Cordicus, overlooking the Shire of Beetleton, and will be attended by diplomats from all the major races. Captain Loga Thackeray is concerned for the safety of Queen Jenna, who will be attending and will need support. A hero of your merit should attend the soiree and offer what you can to help. Thanks, your herald. P.S. We understand that Zodja will be attending as well as a part of the Asura delegation, but we don't know why. She's always a wild card, so be cautious. So the Herald knows that Zodja's coming. Because we are Asura, Zodja has actually straight up just told us why she's going. So everybody basically is pushing us to go there, guys. That is indeed the second dungeon of the game, and we are going to be taking our steps back to Kryta for the, Heartland Kryta, for the first time in a long time. Probably through the Asura Gate. So what do you say, guys? Let's give a shot to genuinely one of the hardest challenges we've had so far. It has taken multiple days of practice for me to prepare what is about to come up. Oh god. Zodja, we're on our way.